let's talk about this box before I cut. When I got it at the store, it had this straight line here. It also had the 45 this way, and also down this way if you wanted to set your saw down at an angle, you know, like that to cut. I've never used that one, but you can use that one too. But funny thing, look, there's a mark here, here, and over here, but those weren't there from before. And I wish they would make those. That's for my 22.5 degree cuts. And what I ended up having to do is I just split the difference between here and there to get my mark here. And then I did another one over here. And I just took my saw and set it up there at those marks. And I cut straight down to get my angle. Well, when I did that, I didn't get my angle exactly straight because it's just hard to do. And I noticed when I put my saw in here, my saw is kind of at just a little bit of an angle, not a whole lot, but a little bit. See that one? I can see my saw is coming up at a slight angle. So when I cut something, I'm not exactly at a 22.5, am I? I mean, I didn't know what else to do about it. And I ended up having to cut both sides because sometimes you have to use this side, sometimes you have to use that side. And so, and plus on the wall, your walls are never exactly straight anyway. So we're gonna keep that in mind. And that's the beauty of that rasp, right? So let's just start cutting here and see what we come up with. Here's my 30-inch piece, and I've got my mark, so I know I'm gonna have to cut over there. And that one's set up pretty good. And so I run it through my mark. I'm right exactly where my pencil mark's supposed to be. Right at my 22.5. I'm holding that and I'm going to cut this. There we go. And then what I'll do is I'll maybe try to wipe that pencil mark off so it's not going to show, you know, in case it comes out too far and the caulking's not going to cover it on my finish. Okay, so there's my first piece. That's on that long wall. There's my cut. Now, if I have to adjust that, I'll adjust that with my rasp, right? Okay. Now here's the one that went up against the wall, pushed into the carpet. I know that angle has to come out this way, like this. So I've got to remember that. And so I've got to, see, I can't hold it up over on this side, over here. Actually, I guess I could right there on that one. Okay, but that's the one that kind of comes up at an angle. And what I normally do is I'll do it over here. And see, it's slightly coming at an angle, but I'll show you what I do here. I used to cut it all the way through this way, but I don't anymore. I just get it started like that. Now I can set it over here and cut it. Okay. And there's that one. Okay. That's granted, this one I still have to rip, so before we go in, oh shoot, you know what I should have done? I should have not cut that off yet. I should have ripped this first so I could hang on to this. Oh, that's gonna make it tricky now. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it. We'll see. I think I can. That's gonna be tricky. So I should have left this long, and I could hang on to that, put it up on my table, and then cut this, because I got to rip all of this to this point with my saw. We'll see if I can do it. If I can't, worst case scenario, I've got to do one out of over here, and I can. We'll just see. And this is for that other wall, and I know this piece goes pretty good all the way through, so I'm gonna cut this one first, right there, and I'm just gonna start it. Okay. Now I'm gonna cut it. Okay. Another reason I guess I put the 2x4 down there. I can flip that around. Got my mark. And see, anybody can do this. There's no electric saw you have to mess with or anything. Okay. There's that little piece. So get the pencil mark off. And I know I'm going to have to shave these off with my rasp. Okay, so now, is there a way that I'm going to be able to do this on my table without messing up another piece? We'll see. We'll soon see, won't we? Because like I say, usually I make that a little bit longer. Okay. Make sure. Last thing you want to do is slip and go through there and hit your hand. I've done that before, but that's why I like to go backwards a few times to get the saw started. Now I can go forward. Just short strokes here. Try to eyeball straight down. I kind of got off. I've got to kind of put some pressure on here. I sort of started going off my line there. Okay. Boy, I don't know. It's going to be close. Oh, I might be able to do it. We'll just have to see. Because see, I can hold it over here. That. Wow. Good grief. Okay. Okay. Now, I gotta cut that little bit off. Right where my mark is. There we go. There's my piece. That's pretty straight. That's pretty straight. See? See there? Well, that's pretty straight, don't you think? Look at how much straighter do you need it to be? Okay, and so there's my other piece. Even if that's not perfect, I can shave this a little bit. If I'm slightly off, when I glue it, I can caulk it, and then if there's a slight gap, I'll be okay. Okay, all right. Now, am I ready to go in there yet? Nope. Nope. I've got to cut. Remember, I got to cut those other little pieces. So let's just do that while we're out here. Okay, there's my 3. And remember, 1 1/16 is 1. Here's a little short piece. And I can get that out of this right here, believe it or not. Yes, I believe I can. I could never use a little piece like this with an electric saw, but here I can. I'm just going to mark it. Because these are 22.5, and because I made this myself, and because it's going out at a really super far angle. Even this front one's going at an angle, so I know it's not going to be perfect. But that's why I got my rasp, and even if I did have a perfect 22.5, it's still not going to be exactly perfect. I'm still going to have to use my rasp. That's the beauty of a sharp rasp. Okay? So I'm just going to hold it wherever I hold it. I'm holding it on 6, so I can go over to 5 and a 16. I'm going to do the 1.25" one on this one, okay? And I got just enough room to do that on this little piece. Right there. Hold it up there, check it, okay? Yeah, I think I can do it on this one. Okay, so now I can hold that over here. I think I have enough room. Yeah, just barely. Oh, good grief. Ever so slightly short, but I think I can make it work because most of the time I have to rasp that off anyways. Okay, now here's a little piece. Now my other one's 1.16", so I can take a short piece. That one's pretty short. I don't think I don't really think that's gonna work because of my angles, but I think I've got one over here that'll work. Okay. And in fact, it has a 22.5 on there. Let's see if it's it's going the wrong way, but that's okay. I can do it. I can work it on another one. Okay, I'm just gonna etch it, and I'm gonna slide it over here, hang on to it, and cut it off. That's getting me a little bit better of a cut rather than using that because it was hard for me to do that. And I wish whoever makes these would make 2 more cuts in them for the 22.25. I don't know why they don't do that. 22.5. Okay, so this one's going to be 1.16". Gotta carefully hold that up there. There, okay. This one is a little bit better cut, so that's why I've been cutting this one all the way through right here. I mean, it's pretty close to a 22.5. There's my other one, okay? So now I got all my pieces, don't I? Now it's all about the rasping. That's why you gotta have a sharp rasp. I have an old rasp that I've used for forever, and I use this for all kinds of stuff, but it's not near as sharp as that other one. I could use this if I didn't have the other one, but if you don't have a nice sharp rasp, you might want to go to the store and get one. I keep this one in my nail bag for the odd thing. It's good to brush down edges, door edges, 2x4 cuts and stuff like that. And so I use this one for stuff. But for this thing here, I've got to have the sharp one. I know, before we do anything, you want to see if this notched one is going to fit up against here, don't you? See, it fits way better. It's way better. If anything, I might have done it just a hair too much, but that's okay when I put the caulking in there and it lines up here. That's nice. Because see, I ended up having to notch that one on that side too, and I still have the masking tape on there. You see the little notch right there? So much I notched it all the way along that one. And then after I take that masking tape off, Leave that masking tape on for a couple days, and then I'll caulk it. Okay, so that one looks like it's going to line up really good right there. Push this one over. That lines up. This one's going to line up right there. So it's all about fitting these little pieces in. And my experience has been cutting those angles. I always have to mess with just about every single one of these. This is the short one. This is the long one. And so I'm going to hold that in there and see what I have to do to line that up. And usually what I have to do is make this one just a hair less of an angle. And so I just start rasping it like that. And I'll work on that a little bit, and then I can hit this one on that side, and I just kind of slide those out of the way and line that up and see how much of that I've got to fit. You know what I mean? And on these small pieces, it's kind of hard to hold it this way and do that. So I just hold it here, use it like a cheese grater, and kind of pull on it, and I'll keep more pressure on the front, and then just start going away and keep working at it. And then I'm going to have to do this other side. I'm going to have to do all these like that. Okay? So, and then this back side, it's because it's going at an angle, I have to kind of hold that at a little bit of an angle and get it to where I feel it's straight, and then just keep working at it like that. So I'll be here for a few minutes doing this, maybe 8 or 9 minutes to get these fairly close, and then I'll show you what it looks like.